Namaste, welcome everyone. Find your seat, and once you take your seat, make sure that it's comfortable for you, that you can release your bones and settle and arrive. If you have phones or devices other than the one that you're using for class, try to put it upside down or take it a little bit away so your brain is not like connected to that all the time. And this week I started sharing about this concept of yoga, of the philosophy, which is an invitation to watch or be more aware of our ego. And even though ego is a very positive thing in the sense that it helps us define who we are, and it gives us the power of our individuality, the kind of ego that the yoga philosophy is inviting us to check is the one that sometimes become a little bit problematic in the sense that it makes us suffer. And it's related mainly to that part of ourselves that gets too attached to a certain status or having something to make us feel like we are important or that we are more than someone else or less even than someone else. And we understand each other as being unique, but not as being separated from the rest, right? We are all the same, even though we have differences of who we are, but we are all part of the same. So I chose to share a little story that it's true, and it's written by the husband of a colleague who's been, he's a young guy, he has a major in philosophy, and he's been meditating for a really long time. He went through very, very difficult times when he was young, he was in jail, different things that I'm not gonna share now, but he's also an amazing writer. And he wrote last week, a little story of an experience that he had. Last summer, he went to India and he was there for a whole month in a silent retreat. And this is part of the experience. So I want to share this. And it says, a reflection on dinner time. In the men's meditation hall, our cushions were lined beneath cylindrical mosquito nets, carefully suspended from wires that spanned the hall in rows. Lay people sat in the back, monks near the front, beneath the gaze of the golden Buddha. Close your eyes if you want, because this is a little story so you can settle and listen, okay? The nets were a necessity. With 18 or more hours of meditation each day, our bodies were fertile feeding grounds for the multifarious insects that populated the air around us. It was monsoon season. It was hot. Our still and sweaty bodies must have smelled delightful to the flies and mosquitoes that swarmed around us. No attempts were made to keep the insects at bay, to restrict them to the forest outside the Dharma hall. Never mind the malaria. For the most part, the mosquito nets served their purpose. I can think of only one occasion when I'd inadvertently allowed a flying creature into the net with me. On that particular day, the creature was my teacher, but only in the form of a buzzing that swept by my ears from time to time. The mosquito nets were not effective at preventing lizards from entering, but that's a story for a different day. The Dharma talks were in the evenings, around the time that people outside the monastery would call dinner time. There were teachings delivered by a teacher in Burmese to a packed meditation hall, monks at the front, laymen in the middle, nuns behind them, and lay women in the rear. But I didn't attend those Dharma talks because I didn't understand Burmese. English-speaking yogis, such as myself, attended a translated version of the Dharma talks in a nearby hut. There were about a dozen of us, and there were no mosquito nets there. During those Dharma talks, I was assaulted by the insects of Myanmar's forest. The mosquitoes were almost unnoticeable. though I worried of illness. Most of the flies were simply annoying, crawling about as they did in search of new rivulets of sweat that poured down my head, neck, and arms. There was this one sort of fly, however, a terrible fly. I didn't just lap at my sweat. It didn't just lap at my sweat. It bit into my arms with a force that belied its size, initiating a searing, burning pain that lasted many minutes. Most of the insects I just sat with, doing my best to mindfully note their presence, but not the terrible fly. I felt rage towards it. It disrupted my mindfulness like nothing else. I wanted it to die, and despite my best efforts, I found myself swatting at it. Finally, frustrated with the terrible fly, I spoke with the English-speaking nun who facilitated our Dharma talks. You must be more mindful, she said to me. When your mindfulness is strong enough, it will penetrate beneath the pain and you will see it for what it is. I just looked at her feet. We were not allowed to make eye contact. Before I became a nun, she continued, before I started practice, I killed many flies and mosquitoes. I will never know how many. One thing that helped me in the beginning was that the discomfort I felt from the mosquitoes could be seen as karma, a way of working through the harm I had inflicted. She lifted her arms and opened her arms, palms outward in a gesture of welcome. Dinner time, she said, offering her body as a feast for the insects. Mindfulness can be of great service to the mosquitoes. The very next day, I was yet again assaulted by the terrible fly. I found the soft skin on the inside of my wrist, and it found the soft skin on the inside of my wrist and bit into it. Again and again, it bit into my wrist, but I did not swat at it. To be sure, it was painful. To be sure, it was nearly unbearable, and my body tensed during a bite and in anticipation of the next one. But I did not swat at it. At the close of the Dharma talk, I rose from my cushion and approached the nun. Feeling good about myself, I held out my arm so that she could see the garland of wells that extended up my forearm. Very good, she said. And now you can take a look at your pride. Take a deep inhalation through the nose and a big exhale through the mouth. And notice sensations, emotions, thoughts. And as you notice those, start to drop a little deeper into your center, coming in contact with your true essence, the one that doesn't change and that stays unaffected by those thoughts, worries, emotions, or feelings. And this week we are working in the reminder that we are not those. Inviting the palms to come together into the heart center. Take a moment to set the intention for your practice. And a moment as well to dedicate your journey to whoever may come to mind. And then we'll open with the Om sound, inhaling deeply through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. Then breathing in again. Om. We connect the head, the hands, the heart, the three together. And then we release the palms, lifting the head and opening the eyes. Welcome everyone. Thank you again for being here. Let's come onto our mats. And if you didn't do it before, with a blanket, make a roll so you can use it. I'll wait for a moment. And if you have a foam roller at home that you prefer to use, then you can use that instead. I'm going to use my blanket and I'm making it as compact as I can. And then I'm going, when I'm ready with that, don't worry, we are going to be waiting here. I'm going to place it right behind my knees, as close to the back of my knees as I can. I have my knees inner hip distance apart, and then I'm going to just sit on top of it for a moment. We are not staying too long, but we are starting to open up the backs of the legs, maybe to feel a little bit of that pressure into both the hamstrings and the calf muscles. And maybe you want to shift it or put it a little bit further in or further out. And as you find the seat, take a moment here with a deep breath in through the nose and a big exhale. And you can choose, once you get there after a couple of breaths, to just shift your body from side to side a couple of times. Good, and then maybe reset yourself to the center. If you want to keep shifting a little bit from side to side, do so. And then we're going to try and bring the sitting bones as heavy as we can towards the heels. Draw the front spine from the bottom of the pelvic floor up towards your nose. And from here, we are going to bring both arms in front, crossing the right arm over the left, and we are going to create the eagle arms. If this is too tense for your neck or shoulders, or it doesn't feel good, you can put your hands on top of your shoulders and then you modify the shape, okay? So from here, I'm going to try to lift my elbows a little so they are more or less in line with my nose or towards the nose line or chin. And then from there, I'm going to breathe into the upper back. So I'm trying to really send the breath into the space in between my shoulder blades and relax the face, keep the chin parallel to the floor. One more full breath. Let it flow in a fluid manner. Good, and then inhale, send the arms up overhead. Exhale, return and switch, left arm over, the right one, and again we do the eagle arms, elbows lifting a little, and then from there we take again 3 breaths, opening the upper back. Relax your jaws, face is soft. Good, then we release that, inhaling again, arms overhead. And with the exhale, I'm going to bring my arms behind, lace the fingers, roll the shoulders and extend the arms behind you. Lift through the front of the spine again, send the shoulder blades down, and keep the sitting bones grounded as much as possible for 1 more breath. Good, then we inhale again, arms up overhead. With the exhale, bring your hands in front of your knees, take that roll out to the side, and we'll stay in the tabletop for 3 cat-cows. So place your hands a little bit turned out so you can have the index finger straight forward towards the top of your mat. And let's start with the inhalation, opening the spine, shoulder blades down, chin up. Exhaling, drawing the navel up and the chin coming towards the heart. And then again, inhaling, finding that connection between the breath and the movement. Exhale, feel your body starting to open up more. Inhale, exhale. Good, back to the neutral we go. And from here, we are going to open the right leg out to the side with the toes pointing forward. And you can tuck the back toes or keep them untucked the way you want. And from here, we're going to shift the body back towards the heel and then forward towards the tabletop. And again, back and forward. I'm going to try and press that right foot down, mostly in the outer edge of the foot. So I activate the inner arch and I'm also opening that inner leg, okay? 2 more, going back. Good, and before we switch sides, inhale your left arm up. Bring the left arm, threading it towards the right. Put the left cheek down. Your right hand can help you, so you can create a little bit more of a twist. Breathing here through the nose. And exhale. 1 more. Good. Pushing into your right hand, we come back to the tabletop and we bring that right knee in so it's in the tabletop again. Okay? From here, we're going to switch sides. Left leg goes out, pointing with the toes forward. You can tuck the back toes or not. Pressing to the outer edge of that left foot and then shift the weight of your body back and forward. We are opening hip flexor slowly, going into the hips. Toning outer hips towards the midline of your body. And go a few more. 2 more here. Just a gentle swinging motion to create more heat and lubricate the joints. And then from here, we inhale, right arm up. We bring it towards the left, bringing the cheek down if you can. You can always put a pillow or a blanket there. Left hand is helping me twist a little bit more. It's not extreme. Just take a breath here or 2. Good, and then with your left hand, push back into the tabletop, bring that left knee in. Let's move the knees a few inches behind the hips. Again, I'm turning my hands or spinning them just a little bit towards the long sides of the mat. Press into the base of your thumbs and index fingers. Widen your feet, bend the knees, and start lifting up into downward facing dog. Pushing with your hands to stretch the sides of your body. Trying to make your sacrum or your coccyx the apex of this shape. So we send the tailbone up, up, up. I still have my knees bent and my heels off the mat. And I'm pushing just to activate first the upper body, the arms. I'm sending the chest into the thighs. I'm letting my shape become tall, okay? Then from there, bend your knees a little more. Draw the navel up towards your nose and bring the heels a little higher. And from there, without bringing the heels down, try to re-extend the legs so the sitting bones keep going up and back. So it's a high down dog with the heels up, and I'm firming my front thighs towards the backs of the legs, and I'm trying to bring my hamstrings towards the wall that I have behind. Release the head and the neck, and then slowly bring one heel down towards the back of your mat, then release and switch to the second one. So slowly we are adding a little bit more to the legs. Again, bending one knee, the other heel coming down, then relifting and switching sides. One more time like that, just one foot at the time, like if you're walking your dog. Good, and then we're going to try with both at the same time. So imagine you are pressing with your hamstrings into 2 blocks that you have there, and you want to push them towards the walls you have behind. Draw again the abdomen up, relax the neck, and create an external rotation through the upper arm bones, pushing your hips up and back. Take another breath here. Good. Then we'll bring the feet a little closer to each other towards the hip distance, like we regularly do. And from here, we'll inhale slowly into the plank pose. In this plank, I want you to bend your knees and draw the navel up and round the upper back. And then push back to downward facing dog. And again, inhale to plank. Exhale, bend the knees, draw the navel in and round the upper back, and then push back up to downward facing dog. One more like that. Inhaling to plank, bend the knees a little, draw everything in and up and rounding like the cow pose, and then go back up to downward facing dog. Good, from here we take a regular plank pose. Use your knees first if you need to come down, knees, then the chest and the chin. Sliding onto your mat, widen your fingers outside your mat, right outside the mat, roll the shoulders, extend through the legs, sacrum in, inhale, open the chest. Exhaling, we fold. Bring your hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes, and slowly we go up, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here, and release. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend the knees if you need. Draw the abdomen up. Relax the trunk. Good. Now we are going to do a little trick here. If you need blocks in front, put them in front. If you're okay and touching down, then you don't need. If you need to bend the knees a little, please do. From here, what I'm going to do is to try and walk my fingers towards the left, but I'm not turning my torso to the left like when we do a twist. I'm just laterally moving and going as far as I can. And from there, I'm going to drop the trunk again. So you understand how I'm not doing this, that it's a twist. I'm just going laterally, right? So I'm going as far as I can to the left, draw the abdomen in, press into the inner heels, and firm the hips into one another. And then return to center, and we take the other side. I'm going to the right, and I'm trying to laterally go without turning over to the right. And once you're there, relax the trunk, firm the right hip in, lift through the inner arches, relax the neck and the head, and then return to center. Good, from there, put your hands on your hips, roll the shoulders back, lift your inner arches, push into the base of your big toes to come up. And we are up into Tadasana. Good. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, we fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, hands to the shins, lifting halfway, shoulders back. Exhaling, we fold. Inhaling, we come all the way up, arms overhead. Exhaling to center and release. Let's go again. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, we fold. Inhaling halfway. With this exhalation, we'll walk back into downward facing dog. Find the place where you need your hands to be. Press the sitting bones and the sacrum up. Draw the ribs down and in. Let's inhale, right leg up and back. Right knee to the chest, coming to plank. Lift that knee into the chest and send it to the left. Bring it back to the center. Back up, right leg. Right foot forward. Left knee comes down. And we come up to the low lunge. Good. Inhaling, arms up overhead, hook your thumbs, lengthen through the sides, and from there, squeeze the inner thighs into one another, draw the pelvic floor up, extend the sides, open the chest. One more breath. Exhale, open the arms to cactus shape, let the hips shift forward. Send the shoulder blades down and lift the sternum. Inhaling here. Exhale. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, hands to center. And we'll take the left elbow to the right for a twist. Press the palms into one another. Draw the abdomen in and up. And try to make the right shoulder blade come behind the heart as you send the sternum up. Press into the right big toe. Good. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Good. Second side, inhaling the left leg up. Left knee comes forward into the chest for plank. Push the mat away. Draw the abdomen up. Left leg goes up and back. Left foot comes forward. Right knee comes down. And we go into the second side. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Hook the thumbs again. Lift through the sides. Squeeze the inner thighs into one another, opening there. Good, then bring the arms into the cactus shape. Let the hips shift a little. Draw the navel up to the nose, send the sternum up, shoulder blades down. Then we inhale, arms up. Exhaling, hands to center. Right elbow to the left, we twist. Press the left palm into the right one to lift the abdomen and chest. Left shoulder blade moves back behind the heart. Notice the breath here. In the twists, it's a little bit more challenging. Try to keep it fluid. Back to center, we inhale. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Inhaling to plank. We lower chaturanga or your knees first. Inhaling to the cobra pose, sacrum in, opening the chest. Exhale. Tuck your toes. Up we go, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and exhale. Push the mat away, relax your neck here. Make your inner heels press down, even if they are not touching the mat. Lift your inner arches and press the quads into the backs of your legs. Good. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Bring the feet inner hip distance apart. Draw the belly in. Bend the knees to come a little lower into the Utkatasana or chair shape. And bring the arms up. Good. Draw the abdomen in. Send the sitting bones down. And we are going to modify this a little. First, bringing the arms into the cactus shape. Lift the chest. And then we're going to keep this. Keep drawing the abdomen in. Send your arms behind and hold opposite elbows. Or maybe opposite wrists, okay? Or in between. So see if you can do that. Roll the shoulders back. Send the shoulder blades down, sit a little lower, keep lifting through the chest. One more breath. Good, inhaling, we go up. Exhaling, we fold. Inhaling halfway, lengthen the front spine. Exhale, we go back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg goes up. Exhale, right knee to the chest, plank pose. Push the back heel towards the wall behind you. Lift that right knee up. Right knee to the left. Bring it back. Right leg up and back. Right foot forward. This time, tone both your inner legs. Stay there with your hands touching down. If you need the blocks, put the blocks. Inhale, lengthen and lift the sternum. And exhale, we are going to extend the front leg and try to make it like when we do the triangle, both legs extended. And again, inhale, lift, arch. Exhale, draw the navel in, fold over the front leg. One more, inhale. And exhale. Back into the lunge. Firm the hips, bring your arms up, crescent lunge, Catch with your right hand your left forearm, pull there, and we tilt to the right. Side opening, right hip presses into the body, push into the right big toe, back to center, hands into the heart, and this time we'll bring the right elbow inside the right thigh, push the thigh into the elbow, elbow into the thigh, and twist to your left. Option here to open the arms if you want. Push that right inner thigh into your arm. Open the chest and the belly. Good. Back to the center with the hands. Good. Back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And we switch sides. Inhaling, left leg up and back. Left knee to the chest. Push the mat, draw that knee up, belly up, knee to the right. Bring it back to the center. Back up. Left foot forward. This time we keep the knee off the floor. Firm the inner legs. And we go from here. We inhale, we open like the cat-cow. Exhale, extend the front leg and fold. Again, inhale. Exhale. Again. Good. We re-bend the front knee, tone the inner legs, draw the navel up, and we come up, high lunge. With your left hand, catch the right forearm or wrist, pull, and we go over to the left. Good, back to center, hands into the heart, firm the hips in, and now I'm going to place left elbow inside the left thigh. I'm pressing the thigh into the elbow, and I'm making the back leg super strong to bend, to bring the belly and the chest towards the right. I'm using my right hand to push the left hand down, breathing in. Then slowly back up. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Option here to add a vinyasa. Inhaling plank, lower chaturanga, up dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. As you settle and pause for a bit here in the down dog, return to recognizing sensations, emotions, thoughts, and invite this practice to be one of letting go, releasing attachments to ideas of yourself that may be causing suffering or harm. One more breath. Good, then we are going to walk our hands back again to our feet. And from here, we are going to open the feet a little wider than the hips and the toes pointing out. And we'll take a squat. I'm going to modify this regular squat that we do. So first we start the usual way with the arms inside the legs, palms pressing into each other, and see if you can lift the spine. Front spine lifting. We take 3 breaths. Good. After the 3rd breath, we are going to Good. We come back and we again extend both arms up to the ceiling. Lift through the spine. Good. Now the right arm goes inside the right leg, left arm up. Push that right arm into the leg. Good. Then slowly return. Push with your hands, lift up. Bring the feet closer into parallel feet. And from here, walk into downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, gaze forward, bend the knees, step, hop, or jump to the top of your mat. Inhaling, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhaling to center, and we release. Good. We're going to start another sequence that starts from standing, but you may need to have a support in front. So if you have one or two blocks or something like books, bring them there in case you need them, okay? Good. I'm going to give modifications for these in case it's not working for you, okay? So from standing, I'm going to keep both my feet hip distance apart. I'm going to fold over the legs. And I'm going to press very firmly onto my right foot, lifting the inner arch, pressing into the base of my toes, firming that whole right leg. Don't lock your knee, but firm the muscles, okay? Then from there, I'm going to bend my left knee, and I'm going to bring with my left hand the foot up, and try to bring that knee all the way up to the chest. And if you can, you hold it with your hands and you bring it as high as you can. Okay, we go from there first. Good, stay there, stay tall, press into the mount of your right big toe. Good, and then we are going to try and hold with the peace fingers into the big toe, or you hold your whole foot with your hand, and you're going to try and extend that leg forward. Firm the hips in, send the left sitting bone down, and press into your right foot, inner arch lifting. Good. From there, we'll try to open the leg to the side. Firm the sitting bones towards one another. Then we come back. Good. Bend that knee again. Arms up. Warrior 3. Left leg back. Good, and from there we are going to send the whole foot back and we open into Warrior 2. Good, once that we are here, inhale, reverse. Exhale, stay, drop the front knee. One more breath. Exhale, coming back to the Warrior 2. Lengthen the side body. Bring that right arm inside the right leg. Push with your arm into the leg to spin the chest and the belly up towards the skies. And two options here. One, to send the left arm up. Second, to bind the posture by bringing the arms behind, wrapping the leg, and sending the shoulders back into the leg, belly up. Drop the right sitting bone, press into the outer edge of your left foot. Last breath. Releasing the arms. Extend the front leg, make it straight. Walk your back foot a little bit if you need, triangle pose. One last breath. Good, then bring that left hand down, framing the front foot, bend the front knee, and we'll do one more thing here. I'm going to extend the left leg, so I'm sitting low into that right side. You can bring your hands in front if you need. Push through the left heel. Nice, we go back, right leg back, downward facing dog. Inhaling to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhaling, cobra pose. Exhale. Back up, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, gaze forward, step, hop, or jump to the top. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, release. Press into the feet, come all the way up. Back to Tadasana. And we stop here, we rest for a moment. Good, we'll go into the second side. I'm going to switch for space. Good, so if you need to catch your foot with a belt, you can also use a belt for that, or just with your hand or without holding, okay? So from here, I'm going to fold over the legs. With my right hand, I'm going to catch my right foot. And what we are going to do now is to press into the left big toe mount, lift the inner arch, and from there come up. See if you can hold that leg as much as possible. Good, now firm the right sitting bone, send it back, lift that knee a little higher. See if you can catch with your peace fingers the right big toe. And from there, extend. Lift the inner left arch, press into that base of the toes and inner heel. Keep the spine tall, sacrum long, and then you choose if you want to take the leg out. Then slowly coming back. Bend that knee back into the chest, arms up. And we go into warrior three. Lengthen through the spine, keep the right hip facing down, lift the inner left arch, and then from there, slowly, we come back and we take warrior two. Good, once you settle the legs, reverse the warrior. Then we come back. We'll take side angle with a modification, lengthen the sides, bring the left arm inside the leg, push the arm into the leg, so it goes back, right arm can come up, press into the outer edge of the back foot, and your choice if you want to create a bind, wrapping the arms, or putting a belt, or a towel if you want. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest and the belly up, press into the outer edge of the back foot. Good, then slowly release, straighten the front leg, bring the back foot a little closer, triangle pose. Good, then we bring that right arm down, bend the front knee, and we'll sit into that side, extending the right leg out, arms can come in front. Good, then we slowly go back towards the front leg, back to downward facing dog. Vinyasa optional here if you want to add the plank, coming down, inhaling into the cobra, and then up to down dog. And then from there, we'll take a child's pose, bringing the knees wide to the side, sitting bones towards the heels, and releasing the forehead. A whole minute here to rest before coming down onto our mats. Good, stay there, reset the breath. A practice today with some challenges. So we understand that we are not our bodies. We have limitations. And it's a good opportunity to work releasing attachments. A few more breaths. Good. Then we'll slowly press up and bring the legs in front. Just shake them in front of you for a moment. And here we may need a few extra props. So I'm going to keep one block close by for reference. We're going to start with the right leg. You're going to bend it and place the shin in front of your pelvis. And then the left shin, you're going to try and place it on top. So in this shape that we also call heel to knee or knee to heel, the idea is to try and line up those. It may be a big challenge because this depends on hip flexibility. So if one knee is really far from the opposite foot or heel, then you can put a block or a blanket or a pillow or anything in between, okay? This may be already a big, big shape for your body. If this feels like it's impossible or it's really hurtful or uncomfortable, then that upper shin can go in front and it becomes more of a cross-legged shape, and that's also good, okay? We work gradually towards the second posture. Okay, so with support in between or without, bring your hands behind you, roll the shoulders back, lift through the sternum, draw the abdomen up towards the nose to create opening and more space in between the organs. And if you want, you can send your hands a little further back and lift through the center of the heart. Relaxing the jaws. Then we'll slowly come back towards neutral. And the option here to fold a little over the legs. This may feel a little bit more fiery, so go just a few inches if that's enough for you. Keep your feet active, pushing through the center of your heels and toes. And take a couple of breaths. Then slowly coming back. Good. Take that that leg out, the top leg, and then the under leg, and then just shake them a little. And now we'll switch sides. First, it's going to be your left shin coming under, and the right one will go on top. Okay. And then again, like you can see on this side for me, I need a little bit of love on that side. So I'm going to put some support there. Then again, I'm sitting tall, lengthening through the sides, roll the shoulders back, 2 breaths, opening up a little bit of that back bend action to send the shoulder blades down, lift through the center of the chest. Then slowly returning towards neutral, and we'll add a few breaths folding perhaps just an inch or two over the legs. Then slowly returning back. Bring the legs in front one more time. Shake them a little. Good. Let's come onto our backs for a moment. Taking one happy baby here. Just lengthening through the spine and pressing through the feet. Good. Then we'll release the feet and we'll come onto the bridge pose. So walk the shoulders away from the ears. Extend the arms. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath your heart. Make your feet be a touch wider than your sitting bones, pressing into the inner and outer edges of your feet. You can use your upper arms and elbows to push and start that lift, or you can use your hands. Send the glutes in, sacrum in, activate your hamstrings, and let's go up, lifting the hips. I'm tucking my elbows and shoulders a little bit more in behind the chest, and then I'm placing the fingers behind the lower back. Usually the feet tend to go a little bit numb here in the sense of not working too much. So pressing to the inner edges of your feet, spread the toes, lift the sacrum into your body, firm the hips up. Take a few deep breaths. Then slowly release, bringing the torso down until you touch all the way down to the back of your pelvis. Take a moment here without doing much. Good. Option for the ones who want, we are going to add a second version. You can either put your block under your sacrum and make it a supported bridge pose, or if you want to go a little deeper into your back bend, and if you have a practice and you are confident about coming into the bridge, into the wheel pose, then you put your hands behind the shoulders. I usually widen my hands a little bit more out towards the sides of the mat so I have extra space. Again, I'm pressing through the base of my feet. I'm toning my glutes, sacrum in, and then I'm starting like the bridge pose. So I'm lifting like the bridge, then I'm going a little further to push the mat away and come up. Opening the chest here, pushing through the hands and the feet, relaxing the head. And then slowly bringing it in, chin into the chest. If you went into the wheel pose. If you're in the supported bridge with the block, stay there for another breath. Good, then we'll take the prop if you have one underneath. And we are going to take the feet with the soles of the feet together, bringing them towards your belly, and let the knees go wide. And then ground the pelvis there, lengthen the spine, and stay here for a moment to settle the lumbars and the sacral area. Good. Okay, from here slowly we are going to release. We'll bring the right leg over the left one. If the foot is able to hook behind and that feels okay for you, you can do it. It's not necessary. We'll open the arms to the sides and let the legs drop to the left, chin to the right. Let the weight of your body help you in feeling the opening and the sensation of this twist, dropping shoulders down. Then we slowly come back to center. Take that right leg back to the right. Reset the hips if you need. Bring the left leg over the right. Hook if you want the foot. If that is not happening, not necessary. And usually I shift my hips a little bit to the opposite side so I have more space to drop the legs. Relax the shoulders, chin to the left. One more breath here. Good, and then we return to center. Take that left leg to the left, come back towards the center of your mat. A couple of options here, happy baby or knees to chest, rocking from side to side. And if you have a wall close by and you want to use it for your legs coming up the wall, you can do that. If you want to have the experience of having that cooling inversion for the end of the practice, you can also use your block under the pelvis and just send your legs up, like we do many times in practice, for a modification of a shoulder stand. If you are well versed in the shoulder stand and you want to practice it now, you can do that. And it's always a good idea to have the props to support your Savasana shape. If you want to take your Savasana with your legs up the wall, you can do that instead. We are moving towards that very soon. When you're ready, set yourself for the last posture of this journey, where we return and we let go. So today, working with ego, as we come to rest, we have the opportunity to soften the body again. And as we come to stillness, the opportunity to let all of the things that describe ourselves stay towards the outside, towards the borders of your skin. So you can drop deeper down towards the heart.